The sun is the energy to fire Earth's air and water in continuous cycles of ocean and atmospheric transformations. This film explores the relation between how we harness energy and our whole way of life. Life itself began by the sun creating a single cell from air and water by what's called photosynthesis. Photo of light, synthesis bringing together. Life is brought together by radiant light. So beginning the evolutionary chain from microorganisms to plants, fishes and animals, evolving forms to fit the environment. Animals adapt their bodies to suit the local conditions. We humans, however, through our developed brain and senses, adapt our environment to suit ourselves. Architecture controls the air, using the earth, sun and water to condition the heat, light and sound. The Bedouin tent is the simplest form of air conditioning, cooling and circulating the air. Islamic architecture developed these principles to the point where whole towns were air-conditioned without using any mechanical means. Narrow streets provide continuous shade. Blank walls keep out the sun. High, open-sided interiors cool the fresh air, and a courtyard lets out the hot air. The flat roofs collect what little rainwater there is, and canvas tents hung over the courtyard for extra shade, collect the rain and channel it to the well in the center of the courtyard. The thick stone walls, though keeping the sun out during the day, store the solar energy and re-radiate it during cold nights, heating the house. So the whole building naturally counterbalances nature's excesses, changing with the day and night. Trees and all vegetation are natural air conditioners. Their growing involves taking carbon dioxide from the air and releasing the oxygen we breathe and making the carbohydrates we eat. Thus, we depend entirely on photosynthesis for the food and breath of life. Agriculture, which has developed over 10,000 years, is an energy conversion system, converting solar energy into plants to feed animals, both of which feed and clothe the population. Its traditional technology is based on the power of the sun, wind, water, plants and animals. The Industrial Revolution developed mechanical power for extracting and eating the plants and plankton that had sunk deep into the earth through geological time, fossilizing into coal, oil and gas, chemically storing the sun's energy over millions of years. This has enabled Kuwait, which has little or no water, to bypass agriculture and become industrialized, harvesting the fruits of industrialization, oil refineries, ships, roads, cars, electricity and communications, and their problems. Piecemeal technology has disrupted the integrated system. Pollution from exhaust oil until the oil is exhausted from the earth, adding heat to heat. Air conditioners and car exhausts blast hot air and fumes into the once cool shade. The atmosphere is the ambient source of the sun's energy. The energy received from the sun every 3 days is equivalent to the total fossil fuel energy of oil, coal and gas stored in the earth. Unlike fossil fuel, atmospheric energy is distributed over the whole surface of the earth, accessible at any point. The two main advances in 20th century physics, relativity and quantum mechanics, produced two energy equations which show the difference between low-intensity solar energy reaching the earth and high-intensity nuclear energy in the sun itself. The fission of nuclear power brings the radioactive processes of the sun onto the earth with the growing and unsolved problems of thermal pollution and indestructible radioactive waste. Air is the new resource to be mined instead of the earth. What's needed are the techniques of harnessing atmospheric energy on a form and scale in which people can take part in the control and creation of their environment. Methods and inventions that use the sun, wind and rain directly and change man's source of energy from limited fossil fuels of the earth to limitless, constantly renewed energy of the air. All invention is the use of nature's phenomena. This structure is to help imagine some possibilities of the direct use of the sun. The transparent, reflective and black absorbing panels are arranged to collect the sun's rays and self-inflate with no mechanical aid. But if there's wind, it helps to inflate it more quickly. Phenomena of light radiation are what we see in these three materials, transmitting where we see through, reflecting all when we're dazzled, and absorbing where we see nothing. The black panels convert light into heat, which is then re-radiated, heating the air. The air expands as it gets hot, inflating the structure, drawing fresh air in as it does so. Coincidence that the structure looks alive. Pneumatics is the forming process of all living things. Hot air rises. The structure takes off like a hot air balloon and erects itself into a predetermined shape. The structure becomes an unsupported shelter, providing shade in the desert, which is almost as valuable as rain. By either reflecting all the sun's heat or storing it by absorbing in the air and ground, it is possible to control the air temperature between freezing and boiling point through day and night. Controlling the temperature, pressure, and volume of the air enables the creation of a microclimate where we can make our own weather. For instance, the hot, humid air rises and condenses on the cooler surface of the structure, falling as artificial rain. So the structure behaves like a cloud, making water in the desert. The energy involved in cumulus cloud formation is of the same order as 3 or 4 H bonds. The raft raft can float to any height in the atmosphere to collect water or energy. By orientation and positioning, the raft acts as a concentrator of the sun's rays. By understanding and using natural processes, people have a personal relationship with the environment in a continuum from the micro scale of the body's weather through rooms and buildings to town, landscape and space. Heat always flows from a hotter to a cooler body. Therefore, insulating water against the ground heat and covering with transparent skin facing the sky, the heat of the water radiates to the cloudless, transparent night sky of black space, freezing the water, making ice in the desert. Water already in the desert is often unusable due to salt. The raft may be used to desalinate the water by evaporation and condensation. After collecting water, the raft takes off and becomes like an airship powered by the sun, a solar ship, which on the scale of Graf Zeppelin could be carrying water, people or goods over land and sea, releasing the water like rain on the desert. Using the upper wind system of the northern hemisphere, which flows in constant west to east direction, the raft could be launched in England and carried in the wind to the Middle East over a period of 4 days, release its cargo, and reload to return round the other side of the earth in about 14 days. The magic carpet come true by tuning into the Earth's water and heat transport system. Weather forecasting is the sole example of international cooperation for mutual benefit. Air physically unites the world. In breathing, we are one with each other and the atmosphere. With water in the desert, agriculture can begin, turning the desert into fields and gardens. Immediately the climate improves, making the deserts habitable. Not as a sweating, sweltering concrete jungle, but as a green land. With science, agriculture can be industrialized and improve the efficiency of photosynthesis, and can even bypass the million-year conversion process of plants into fuel, synthesizing all petrochemical production directly, even growing the plastic the structures are made of. A solar membrane makes a greenhouse in the desert, which uses the ambient sun to control the air and extract water from the air, growing plants for food, fuel, and synthetic raw material. Doing this on a large scale, in combination with traditional methods of animal farming, would create energy farms, capable of being independent of world market fluctuation and becoming a decentralized productive energy source. These principles of the energy farm may be used anywhere in the world, harnessing atmospheric energy to provide food, shelter, and transport. The scale of this change is on the scale of the industrial or agricultural revolutions and will unify the two in an atmospheric or aerocultural revolution, evolving a way of life to fit the everlasting harmony, a synthesis of life from air, water, and sunlight.